Tyler Perry used to be the golden ticket when Harry and Meghan blew up the royal playbook and fled the UK in a whirlwind of drama headlines and security nightmares. It wasn't Buckingham Palace that caught them. It was Tyler, Hollywood's billionaire fairy godfather, who swooped in like a real-life hero, offering them the kind of protection, privacy, and luxury even the crown couldn't match. His Beverly Hills mansion became their fortress. His jet at their disposal, bodyguards covered, and just like that, the Sussexes were living like royalty minus the royals for a while. It was a dream set up. Tyler wasn't just a generous host. He became family. Harry said out loud. Meghan made it official. She gave him the godfather title for baby Lilith, which in royal terms is almost sacred. Cameras rolled, smiles sparkled, baby gifts were exchanged. Perry gushed on Netflix about being chosen, promising to be there for the little one forever. It was emotional, polished, and perfect for their brand of empowerment and chosen. Family. Then came the lawsuit out of nowhere. Tyler Perry was slapped with a $260 million civil suit by actor Derek Dixon, who accused Perry of running a toxic, intimidating, and career-crushing workplace emails, text production notes, court files piled up like kindling overnight. The kind billionaire was being painted as a Hollywood tyrant. And guess what? Meghan did not a statement, not a comment, just delete within. Hours of the news breaking, Perry's name vanished from Meghan's carefully curated online world as photos gone from her nostalgic reels. That heartfelt godfather christening post, scrub press mentions rewarded. Even Princess Elizabeth's Wikipedia entry quietly swapped. So a social media caught on fast screenshots popped up everywhere, whereas Uncle Tyler became a trending question. But Meghan's team silent. Now here's where it gets wild. While Meghan was digitally ghosting the man who once housed her during her darkest days, Tyler still had all the receipts, every photo, every draft, every behind-the-scenes moment, locked, loaded, and legal, and buried in all that goodwill paperwork was something crucial, a confidentiality clause that could swing this entire drama upside down. See, every guest who stayed at Perry's mansion reportedly signed a confidentiality agreement, the usual stuff: don't leak, don't post, don't betray trust. But tucked into that agreement was a clause so specific, it almost feels like foreshadowing. If either party publicly disowned, the other, the non-breaching side, gets to talk, and not just talk, casually talk with legal cover, protect reputation, share private context. In Perry's case, that means every teary conversation, every pitch deck brainstorm, every whisper moment from those Montecito nights. Meghan's team missed it. As soon as Perry's name was wiped from her brand, legal insiders started buzzing. If he feels betrayed, and signs pointed that he could go public, and not in a vague Instagram way. We're talking sit-down interview, national TV, unfiltered truth bombs. Word on the street, his producers are already circling, waving blank checks and ratings predictions. One even joked this could out Oprah back in Montecito. Harry stuck in limbo. He owes Perry his safety, his family's peace. But Meghan controls the narrative, the deals, the strategy, and her strategy is clear: cut off any liability before it sinks the brand. That means Perry, no matter what he did for them, no matter what he knows, and that's the thing, Tyler Perry doesn't just know where the bodies are buried. He handed them the shovels. He saw the raw moments, the real stress, the panic that followed the royal exit. If he talks, the whole fairy tale gets rewritten, and Meghan's new empire, lifestyle products, podcast, media ventures, could take a serious hit. Because this isn't just about cutting ties. It's about cutting ties with someone who knows how the story really went. Tyler Perry never asked for a royal title. He certainly didn't expect to become the face of Meghan Markle's damage control playbook. But when his name started vanishing from christening photos and Godfather mentions like it had never existed, something in him flipped. Insiders close to Perry say he's livid, not just because he feels used, but because of how quickly Meghan rewrote history to protect her image. One moment, he's the man who saved her family. The next, he's a risk to be managed and erased. And then came the mistake. Someone from Meghan's crisis team tried to quietly retract an old press release, one that officially named Tyler as Lilith's godfather, but instead of disappearing, the release got cached, screenshotted, and redistributed by Royal Tracker's online sleuth. Began compiling a timeline showing how Meghan had publicly celebrated Perry right up until his lawsuit surfaced, and then began scrubbing his presence like a bad memory. That deletion frenzy only made things worse, because now it didn't just look like distancing, it looked like guilt. And Perry, he's got leverage. He wasn't just a host, he was there for meetings, breakdowns, back. Channel texts, even strategy talks when the Sussexes were planning their Netflix Doka series. He saw everything. More importantly, he heard everything, and while he's remained silent, so far his camp has started sending feelers testing how much appetite there is for a sit-down that spills the tea spoiler. There's a lot one executive at a major network allegedly called it the most anticipated betrayal story since Oprah's couch. And it's not just about gossip. Perry could reframe the entire midget story. Imagine him recounting late-night calls where Meghan ranted about royal staff or Harry panicking over headlines. Now imagine him holding the NDA as his golden ticket to speak freely. Meghan's team is in panic mode. Sources say she's pushing brand partners to flood her public channels with lifestyle content, recipes, skincare, wellness tips. Anything to drown out the headlines. Her Instagram grid has turned pastel and polished, full of sunny spreads and garden teas. But comment sections keep asking one thing: where's Tyler? Even sponsors are jittery. One high-end fashion house has reportedly paused its campaign featuring Meghan until the par dust settled. Behind the scenes, PR experts are worried the narrative isn't just messy, it's turning toxic, and Meghan's silence is being read as cold calculation when your entire brand is built on loyalty, empowerment, and truth. Ghosting your own child's godfather the second he becomes inconvenient sends a wrong message. Meanwhile, Harry is spiraling. Friends say he's torn, furious one moment, defeated the next. He's still remembers Perry offering them refuge when his father ignored their calls. That kind of help doesn't vanish. But Meghan's strategy is firm: no attachments that can bring the house down. She's not just cutting Perry off emotionally, she's preparing a legal firewall. Quiet calls have gone out to their attorneys, exploring what happens if Perry talks. Can they challenge the NDA? Can they block disclosures? The ugly truth is they can't, not if Perry frames it as protecting his own reputation, which legally he's allowed to do. And he knows that there's even talk Perry's team is preparing a document archive of voice notes, texts, emails that proves his closeness to the couple, not as revenge, but as insurance. Because if Meghan keeps pretending he was never family, he's ready to remind the world just how deep he was in. And now every headline, every scrub photo, every public silence is pushing him closer to that mic. The phones haven't stopped ringing at Perry's office. Media outlets, PR firms, even talent managers all want a piece of the story. Tyler hasn't said a word on record yet, but behind the scenes his team is weighing offers with military precision. One network pitched a sit-down so dramatic they already booked studio space just in case, because if Perry decides to speak, this won't be some vague, sugar-coated version. He's got files, audio footage, signed cards, detailed logs of when and how Harry and Meghan lean on him. And according to someone close to the negotiations, he's done playing the fool. There's more at stake than public image. Perry built his empire on trust. He's known for creating safe spaces, uplifting stories, and loyalty being publicly iced by the very people he sheltered. Hits a nerve to him. It's not just a betrayal, it's branding suicide. Meghan's team may think they are protecting her from fallout, but they've underestimated how personal this feels to Perry. And then there's the legal wild card, that NDA clause no one paid attention to until now. Meghan's quiet eraser. Perry may have tripped it if her actions are interpreted as a public disownment. Perry gets a legal green light to talk. Not leaks, not hints, actual receipts, emails, voice notes, and the kind of behind-scenes chaos that would crush any carefully curated image. For Meghan, the risk isn't just embarrassment, it's exposure. Her entire rebrand, new podcast, wellness products, lifestyle empire, it's all built on persona, honest, graceful, empowering. If Perry pulls back the curtain to reveal a pattern of manipulation, ghosting, and strategic friend, cutting the damage could be permanent, not just to her public perception, but to her business future. Already analysts are tracking a dip in brand sentiment. People aren't just skeptical, they're angry, because it's not the lawsuit, it's the pattern. Look around. Jessica Maurer and Serena Williams, Oprah, once fixtures in Meghan's inner circle, now barely named, dropped. Each relationship cooled the moment controversy or inconvenience came knocking. And now Tyler Perry, the man who provided literal shelter, is being memory holed in real time. Even Harry's inner circle is noticing. Former schoolmates and military buddies have reportedly been venting privately about the rotating loyalty that seems to follow every decision. The optics aren't just messy. They're alienating. It's getting harder and harder to defend a public image built on empowerment. When the most consistent move is cutting people off the second they lose PR value. And Perry knows all of it, every whisper, every last-minute brand pivot, every emergency and meeting. When something didn't align with the Duchess's image, he's got context and the power to flip the entire narrative from Meghan, the survivor, to Meghan, the strategist. That's why Hollywood's watching this like a thriller, not just for drama, but for the president. If Perry speaks and the public side with him, it tells every other power player reputational spin isn't invincible. Even royal-adjacent figures can't dodge fallout when the receipts are this personal. Meanwhile, the palace is practically gleeful aurors who once warned Harry about Hollywood entanglements are now sipping tea and quoting headlines aloud in marble hallways. William's PR team is privately thrilled. Each Sussex misstep only reinforces his stable heir image, and King Charles, sources say, he's staying quiet, letting the Sussex circus play out without royal comment, knowing full well public opinion is drifting back toward the crown. Back in Montecito, Harry stares at a crumbling foundation. He knows Perry has every reason to talk, and if he does, it's not just Meghan's empire that could fall. It's their entire public story rewritten, unfiltered, and possibly unforgivable.